Any last things that you'd like to share that we haven't asked you about? Something that's something in the future that you're interested in, where you want to go with your research, or in your teaching, or even see trends that you see in our field that would be valuable to share with us?
I'm not sure about trends in the field, but I'll tell you a course that I'm just developing, which will illustrate that notion of the intersection of passion and calling. One of my other interests is in children's literature, and I'm very interested in children's literature, even though my children are now 22 and 24, particularly in picture books, because I think that children's literature is, more than any other literature, is written self-consciously to convey certain values to children. And I became very interested a number of years ago in looking at how skewed the images on greeting cards are in terms of children. So at the time that I did this research, which was about 20 years ago, dogs were on boys' cards and kitties were on girls' cards. It was like a law of physics. And certain words were used for boys and certain words were used for girls. Apparently, and all the cards addressed children directly, to a wonderful son or to a wonderful boy on his birthday, to my darling daughter, to my sweet little girl on her birthday. After one, boys aren't sweet, according to the greeting card industry. You have to find another adjective to use. But the girls got to be sweet and darling well until their 16th or 17th birthday. So I'm interested in how we convey messages to children. And the greeting card industry is one thing, but children's books certainly try to convey certain values in their pictures and in the words and the stories that they use. I'm also very interested in engaged learning, which is, I think, a trend throughout a number of different disciplines. And the notion that you get out into the community not just to do good, but because the experience in the community feeds back into your learning. And I've done a number of service learning classes, but what I decided to do this time was to do an ethnographic narrative theory course that talked about the power of storytelling in communities as a way to build your own identity and your sense of belonging to this community and a sense of the richness of the community. And so I'm lucky enough to be at Loyola Chicago at the Lakeshore campus, which is at the edge of one of the most ethnically and economically diverse areas of the country. I mean, you can walk down Clark Street or Western, and you can hear different languages spoken every other block, and different signs that you don't understand, and food that you've never heard of before. And so I have my students working in a grade school that has over 80 nationalities represented in it. They're working in teaching, reading, and storytelling. They are performing children's literature, so that out of that oral interpretation of literature tradition in our field, as a means of understanding the literature. So I'm not trying to turn them into actors, I'm trying to get them to use performance as a way of understanding the literature. And at the end of the semester, they will write their own children's book. And they're working in tandem with a group of student artists and learning about the power of visual storytelling as well. So I personally love it. The students bounce into class. I mean, they're like, we get to spend all day reading children's books. This is so cool. And they love working at the school. And it's a pleasure and an honor to be able to work in that kind of atmosphere. So I probably am going to do more with that in terms of research as well.
Good. Good.
Yeah, thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for spending the morning with us, and your week here at Gonzaga has been very wonderful for everybody involved.
Well,
thanks
for
to
me
Bren.
as well. Thank you.
I'll shake your hand.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
That's fine.
I'll shake your hand.
I'll just give you a fist bump.
Okay. The terrorist bump.
Yeah.